today's American home design landscape, luxury interiors are evolving to embrace not just sleek modernism but also the timeless beauty of vintage aesthetics. Vintage touches provide warmth, history, and emotional connection, creating a home that feels lived in yet elegant. These subtle inclusions transform contemporary spaces into inviting havens filled with character. Luxury homes in America often reflect a cultural narrative, whether it's the colonial heritage of the East Coast, the rustic ranch traditions of the Southwest, or the Art Deco glamour of metropolitan cities. Incorporating vintage touches allows homeowners to honor these cultural layers, blending the richness of the past with modern refinement. Vintage design carries authenticity. Unlike mass-produced pieces, antique furniture, heirloom rugs, or retro fixtures bring originality into a space. In luxury design, exclusivity is key, and vintage items ensure a sense of rarity that modern furniture cannot replicate. This uniqueness elevates the sophistication of any interior. Modern luxury design often emphasizes clean lines, open spaces, and cutting-edge technology. But when paired with vintage elements, like a distressed leather armchair, a mid-century chandelier, or a carved wooden chest, the result is a balanced interior. The tension between old and new creates a striking and memorable home environment. Living rooms serve as the introduction to a home's character. Vintage touches in this space may include ornate mirrors, velvet upholstered chairs, or Art Deco coffee tables. These features provide guests with an immediate sense of elegance rooted in history while still feeling comfortable and stylish. Chandeliers with crystal droplets, brass sconces, and Edison bulb pendants are just a few lighting elements that bring vintage sophistication into luxury homes. In American culture, lighting isn't just functional, it's atmospheric. Vintage-inspired fixtures serve as both art pieces and mood enhancers in any interior. The kitchen, often considered the heart of an American home, is a prime location for subtle vintage details. From retro-style appliances in bold colors to brass cabinet handles and subway tiles, these touches inject charm into a modern culinary space while maintaining high-end functionality. Formal dining rooms often benefit from vintage-inspired grandeur. Incorporating a reclaimed wooden table, upholstered dining chairs with intricate details, or vintage silverware elevates the dining experience. These elements turn every meal into a celebration of both tradition and modern sophistication. Bedrooms gain warmth and romance through vintage influences. Luxury interiors often include tufted headboards, antique dressers, or lace textiles. These details evoke nostalgia and serenity, making the bedroom a restful sanctuary that feels both luxurious and deeply personal. In luxury home design, bathrooms are no longer just functional, they are spa-like retreats. Vintage clawfoot bathtubs, patterned floor tiles, and ornate mirrors bring a historic charm. These vintage elements contrast beautifully with sleek modern plumbing, creating indulgent yet character-filled spaces. Oriental rugs, Persian carpets, and handwoven textiles are often considered art pieces in themselves. In luxury interiors, these vintage rugs provide texture, color, and cultural richness. They anchor rooms with history while also offering comfort underfoot in expansive, modern living spaces. Art has always been integral to American luxury design. Vintage paintings, sculptures, or decorative objects bring a sense of cultivated taste. Antique art pieces also act as conversation starters, reflecting the homeowner's personality and appreciation for cultural heritage. Luxury isn't just seen, it's felt. Vintage materials such as distressed leather, aged brass, reclaimed wood, and hand-woven fabrics introduce tactile richness. These textures evoke authenticity, ensuring that a luxurious home feels warm, inviting, and full of life rather than sterile. One or two carefully chosen vintage furniture pieces can redefine an entire space. A Louis XVI chair in a minimalist room or an Art Deco bar cabinet in a sleek lounge becomes the centerpiece, blending old-world craftsmanship with contemporary design principles. Rustic American farmhouses continue to inspire luxury interiors. Designers incorporate vintage barn doors, weathered wood beams, and wrought iron details to give homes a sense of grounded charm. When layered with luxury finishes, these farmhouse-inspired touches strike a perfect balance between comfort and sophistication. Wallpaper and textiles are another avenue where vintage shines. Floral motifs, damask prints, and geometric patterns inspired by past eras bring subtle nostalgia. When applied strategically, they enhance walls, upholstery, or curtains, transforming a modern luxury home into a layered and artistic dwelling. Patios, verandas, and garden areas can also embrace vintage style. Wrought iron furniture, antique lanterns, and mosaic-tiled tables enrich outdoor living. These elements create timeless elegance, encouraging homeowners to extend vintage luxury into nature and entertain guests in memorable settings. In American cities, luxury homes often lean towards sleek minimalism. Adding vintage details, like an antique bar cart a retro leather sofa, or vintage artwork, softens modernity. These inclusions give urban apartments a personal narrative, making them feel less like showrooms and more like curated home. Vintage design introduces rich, muted colors such as olive green, mustard yellow, burgundy, and navy. These tones pair beautifully with contemporary neutrals, creating depth in luxury spaces. Such palettes not only pay homage to history but also bring warmth to modern interiors. Luxury homes often feature curated collections. Whether it's vintage books, ceramic vases, or old-world maps, these items give personality and intellectual depth. Displaying them thoughtfully transforms shelves and walls into storytelling platforms, merging cultural heritage with contemporary living. One of the most appealing aspects of American luxury design is the freedom to blend eras. A mid-century modern lamp alongside a Victorian armchair creates intrigue. This mixing of styles ensures interiors remain fresh while celebrating diverse historical influences. Incorporating family heirlooms into luxury design adds emotional value. An antique chest passed down through generations or a vintage quilt from a grandmother's collection brings authenticity. These heirlooms remind homeowners of their roots while enriching the luxury narrative of their living spaces. Choosing vintage isn't just stylish, it's sustainable. Repurposing and reusing furniture reduces environmental impact. In American culture, where eco-consciousness is increasingly valued, luxury homes that embrace vintage elements also make a statement of responsibility and environmental awareness. While vintage elements are beautiful, overuse can overwhelm a space. The key is balance. Mixing carefully curated vintage pieces with modern luxuries ensures harmony. This thoughtful blend prevents interiors from appearing dated while still maintaining historical character and charm. Vintage touches in luxury home design embody both elegance and timelessness. They bring stories, textures, and individuality into spaces that might otherwise feel too contemporary or cold. In American culture, where homes often reflect personal narratives, vintage design creates warmth, authenticity, and lasting beauty.